Curt Wells, good to
How you
see you
doing,
again,
buddy?
buddy. Good to sit down and chat with you, man.
Yeah,
How was the season?
absolutely terrible.
Really?
I mean, I've been bow hunting a long time. I've been bow hunting so long, I still have a T-Rex tag in my pocket. And
Woolly mammoth.
yeah, I have never had a season like I've had this year. I mean, I didn't have any bad luck. I didn't have any good luck. I just had
Just
no
was
luck.
just no luck at all. Yeah.
Roosevelt elk hunt with my buddy Larry Jones, never saw a bull. Moose hunt BC, never saw a bull.
Crazy.
4 whitetail hunts, I never hooked my release to the string.
Wow.
It was just crazy. I mean, I just sat in a tree just shaking my head like, how can
What
this
is going
be?
on? This past year, which is obviously, it's 2024 now, but 2023 deer and big game season, I've talked to more people that had a tough year, and it makes you wonder what it is. And then you all talk to certain people, and it's like, man, this year was amazing. I could have walked behind that fern over there and
Yeah.
possibly got a shot. And it seems like you have those years,
It's kind of like bass tournament. No matter how tough the fishing is, somebody always finds the fish, And
Yeah.
so there's always some good luck, but I did hear a lot of bad reports as well. A lot of nocturnal deer movement.
Yeah.
People weren't seeing stuff in the daylight, and I hunted hard. I never give up. I go right to the end, and instead of feeling sorry for myself, I always kind of figure, well, maybe I'm just saving up luck to draw a sheep tag or something, but
Very
somewhere
well
along
could.
the line, it's going to even out.
Sooner or later, the dice got to roll in your favor, right?
Yeah. And years ago, I had 1 year where I shot 9 animals, got to thinking I was hot stuff. Next year, 2. Mother Nature just knocked me right back down to earth, so.
I swear, Curt, I can so relate to that because it seems like I've had those years. And in some of those years, it's not like I felt deserving to have those great years. It's like, man, it is the good luck side of
Yeah.
things. Yeah, you still got to make the shot, but you say, everybody pick a stand and like, well, okay, or you want somebody else to really have the hot seat.
Yeah.
So you send them there and like, hey man, I'll go over here to the sweet potato patch. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, but I'm just gonna spend my time, the wind ain't right. And then there's a giant walks out, and then it seems
Yeah.
like that goes throughout the year to where you're not even trying, you're having success. And then it seems like the harder you push, then the harder it gets to even fill a tag sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, and I couldn't even blame it on the weather. Usually you can blame it on the weather or something, but we had pretty decent weather on most of the hunts, a little bit of hot weather here and there, but
Yeah.
otherwise it wasn't the weather and it wasn't effort. I was hiking out 3/4 of a mile to a tree stand or
Right.
whatever it took, hiking
In
every
good
day up the
spots.
mountain, and conditions were good on the moose hunt, everything, but it was I just shook my head in disbelief that I wouldn't even get an opportunity.
Right.
I mean, since I didn't get a shot, I didn't wound anything or anything like that, It was just no luck whatsoever. So just move on, get ready for 2024, and
That's
break
exactly
out of
right.
it.
That's all you can do. Well, Curt, do you have a favorite thing you like to hunt as far as big game animal?
Well, elk have always been at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the bugling, if you get into the bugling and all that, if elk didn't bugle, then probably be mule deer,
I got you.
because the whole strategy of locating a good buck and keeping track of him, bedding him down, relocating him, planting the stalk and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Even if you don't get a shot opportunity, when you're walking back to the truck, you've been hunting that day.
Right.
You know?
I agree with you on the mule deer too, because it's harder and harder to find really good mule deer spots.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think is cool about mule deer hunting, even though it's a solitary deal, you can still sometimes spot and glass with your friends. So
Yeah.
there is a thermos of coffee sometimes and some good old stories, and you're laughing, reminiscing, and you're watching these deer miles off, and then all of a sudden it comes time to make that strategy
All right.
with your boys, and who's gonna go in, who's got to tag. That right there is a kind of a different element.
Mhm.
It's almost feel like a little Navy SEAL approach to it, where
Yeah.
you're figuring out a strategy, finding your target, and then obviously the hardest part is being able to slide in there and get within,
Yeah, and there's a lot to that. Staying away
lot.
from non-target animals, even cattle. You come over a hill and there's cows there, your stalk's over. Because they're
Exactly.
definitely going to run straight where that mule deer was bedded.
Oh, seems like every single time.
A lot,
that
lot
happens.
goes into it, but I mean, it's really a strategy thing,
Yeah.
So, but it's hard to beat a bull elk bugling from 10 yards away. And
I agree.
Oh, man.
Just to
That's-
manipulate them in range and
Yeah.
calling and
Anything
it
I
does,
can
as
call,
will
I
everything.
love to hunt.
I would think anybody, you know, obviously I grew up in the South, and even in deer stands, I remember just fantasizing and dreaming of hunting elk.
Yeah.
I think that's the quickest thing. If you ever bow hunt, you can be in South Florida and you're up there thinking, like, one day I want to chase an elk. It's just, I think it's the ultimate animal to bow hunt. I think it's the hardest animal to bow hunt too, because, you know, it's tough to get them in range, and I don't think you're going to put an arrow in anything any tougher maybe than a Cape buffalo, but they're tough animals.
And like if I'm cruising an outdoor channel or sportsman channel, if I come across an elk hunt, I stop right there.
Me too.
Watch it.
Me too.
No matter what, there's always something to learn, and I'll stop and watch that elk hunt every time.
Well, you heard it right here. Me and Curt Wells had the same kind of year. It was just tough, man. I had a few opportunities and killed a couple nice deer. Same with elk, man. That's kind of my thing that I love to do. Pretty much leave the kids and wife in September. That's my month, man.
Yeah.
It's like, if you'll give me September, I'll slow down in the other months. And
what we need to do is get rid of March and make September 60 days long.
that's true.
That would be.
Or maybe that would be good, because yeah, because I could still make up my turkey hunting in April.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Still give me
yeah.
April and give me
March.
September.
Let's get rid of March, or maybe
That's
February.
right. Well, it's fun. Everything's fun to hunt. And, you know, Curt, you've always been one of the guys in bow hunting. I mean, you know, it's funny to see everything change. Obviously, I used to read a lot of your articles and stuff, and obviously you've always been on the forefront of the archery industry. It's kind of cool to share the brotherhood with you, shooting these Hoyt bows, man. Me and you both shoot Hoyts, and
Absolutely.
we've had a lot of fun times. I even said it last year. People didn't see. It was Curt. We was out, and I had a 60-yard pin. You taught me how to bracket it a proper way, not just complete Kentucky windage, and that was kind of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a fun shoot there in Snowbird.
That was, and
Good
I
time.
tell you, the archery stuff seems to be all those tack events and those, like that was a bow cast at the Bird. I think you and I was hanging out.
Yeah.
And there's getting to be Larry Poulterback is throwing a big bow fest up in Wisconsin, so it's good to see people getting out and just
Getting popular.
yeah. And I mean, it ain't even about winning. It's more about just hanging out, and you might have a cold beer or a cup of coffee in the morning and chill out with your friends. They see people having campfires, and so it's kind of cool to celebrate
It's
it.
challenging too. I went up the mountain with 7 arrows and came down with 7 arrows, so I considered that a win.
That's a win.
yeah.
Yeah, if you
that's a
come
win.
back with your arrows, because those are long shots. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
shooting 100 yards, 120 yards, using your arc and your rangefinders to get, you know, 120-yard shot might be 80-yard shot, or it could be an 80-yard shot that turns into a 60. You know, you realize that that's not just a fable myth of the arc. It actually works. It really does. So.
Brought a lot of young guys into the sport too, you know. They
No
get into
doubt.
that tack stuff.
No, it's good. And obviously, if you get into shooting, what's the next step? You're going to want to, like, you know, we're talking about elk, talking about mule deer. You're going to want to try that too. So.
Yeah,
No doubt.
absolutely.
Well, Curt, it was a pleasure as always to talk to you and see you, man. Always cool
Good
to
to
catch
see
up, buddy.
you. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Maybe we'll both have a good year next year,
Yeah.
or this year.
Yeah. I appreciate everything you do for the industry too. You're a great ambassador to all hunting. And
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It means a lot, Curt, especially coming from you, for real.